What's Up Poland, regular news show about Poland. This is the controversy, the major controversy about popular actor Barbara Kurdej-Szatan and some very spicy and somewhat rude and very sweary things she said about the Polish border force. I'm just going to quote this well-known actress, and you can make up your own mind what you think, okay? I've done this from her Polish into English, but basically at the start of November, this actress, Barbara, she posted it onto her Instagram, having watched apparently some video involving the Polish border force and the recent migrant crisis, and she got really upset about it. I'll just read it out. Let me know what you think. Swear word, swear word, swear word. What's happening? This is the swear word border guard. Guard? These are heartless, brainless machines blindly following orders. Swear word. How can you? It breaks my heart and my entire chest is heaving and I'm crying. Murderers. Do you really want that kind of government? Who allows or orders that kind of thing to happen? Swear word. Now, this is one of those classic internet storms. She took it down pretty quickly afterwards, but not before a lot of people had done a lot of screenshots and a lot of people got upset. Now, I have to admit, I've been following this story for the last 2 months. I still don't recognize her at all. Apparently, she's a famous actress. But here's the good news. She probably doesn't know who I am. So I'm as entitled to comment on her as she's entitled to comment on the border force. And secondly, there's my animal brain here, which just gets so, yeah. Like, who the hell do you think you are? These people who earn a lot less money than you are in this really difficult situation to have to defend the territorial integrity of a nation, which is an entirely legitimate thing to do, from, yes, a group of migrants, but a group of people who are illegally trying to break into the country as part of a fairly easy to identify hybrid war. That's the animal part of my brain. The animal part of my brain just wants to grab her and go, hey, what the hell is wrong with you? You know, like, was it the Polish border guard who arranged for these people to be there? No. Was it the Polish border guard that these heartless, brainless machines? Was it these heartless, brainless machines who flew these people to this place? No, they lived in Iraq before. Was it the Polish border guard who forced them at gunpoint, including using those guns to shoot in the air or above their heads, that forced them to sleep outdoors throughout the whole of November? No. Who did they pay to get there? You know, who gave the visas for these people to be there? The Polish border guard? No. See, in the whole, for example, there's a big thing about Polish death camps. People get very upset about it. I have a bit more of a nuanced view about that, but there's a line that people use the whole time, which is don't mix the victim with the perpetrator. Well, to anyone who might still be having this kind of opinion, and she has apologized and retracted the words and deleted them, we'll talk about that in a second, I would say this: don't mix up the perpetrator with the people trying to clean that mess up and deal with it. See, the Polish border guard are doing a very difficult job under extremely difficult circumstances. They're doing it to the best of their ability. It's not always pretty, and it doesn't always mean it goes right. But if you ignore who's responsible for putting these people there, you're actually ignoring almost all of the story. Because the truth is, and this is fairly well understood, that it was a certain government that invited these people over, a certain government that issued them the visas, a certain government which bussed them to the border, and a certain government which forced them, equipped them, prepared them, supported them to illegally break over the border. Was it the Polish government? No. See, there's a part of me which just wants to, you know, go like, why is it so hard for you to criticize your own border force, who don't always get things right? We've got to be honest with that. And not maybe point your finger at the people who got them there. Let's talk about responsibility. We've talked about this. So I watched a bit of interviews with her recently to try and think about this. And this is what I actually started to realize. She did an interview recently, which has hit the news again. And the journalist tests her a bit, basically, and really presses on her a few points. And it was difficult for her. But I started to look into her story and I realized that we're all part of her problem. Her story is our story. Because what happened was she'd seen one video with no context whatsoever on a platform. I've looked for it, I haven't been able to find it yet, in which the Polish border force were fairly rough, I think would be the right description from the people who've seen it, with a family involving a kid. And as a mum, quite rightly, she had an emotional reaction to that. I don't know about you, but I see that kind of stuff all the day. And I think, yeah, that it gets you. It gets you. But then you realize you don't have a clue what's happened 5 seconds before the camera's turned on. You have no idea who these people are. So what you're doing is you're rushing to a judgment with actually knowing the full facts. And I looked at a story. I mean, she suffered for this. She's reputedly, she's lost a couple of business deals. She's withdrawn her book. She's lost out on some actressing and work. And she's had hundreds of death threats, she says to her. I've had a very tiny little taste of that in my time. I've done various posts which I've deleted afterwards. And I know how uncomfortable it is to feel even when 5 people write something nasty to you. And apparently people have been issuing all sorts of threats to her, including to her life. So my heart goes out to her for that moment. And I realized that we've all done that. We've all said something that we've later regretted. The difference is that we're not in the public eye. So she's apologized. She said that she wrote it at the wrong time, in the wrong way. She said that she respects the Polish armed forces and all the people involved in the defense of Poland. She had, I believe, one grandfather in the Polish army, and another one was in the AK, so the Polish home army, and that she loves Poland. I did, in the end, feel sorry for her. And I have recognized that the thing that so many of us are criticizing her for, and my instant animal brain reaction, we've all made exactly the same mistake. So let's be careful before we throw stones at Barbara Kurdej-Szatan. Let's maybe realize that we have the same challenge she does. We watch a video, we come to a conclusion, we post our opinion, we don't really know. And that is part of the problem that we're all in on this. So what's the lesson to you? If you're interested in this border crisis, I think you need to check reliable sources, reliable information sources. Be very careful about drawing quick conclusions from videos that you might see on a social media platform. And before you post, think twice. I think you should check out thefirstnews.com, and I think you should check out What's Up Poland, which is the best online video show about Poland. Let me know what you think about her little post. You can write underneath this. I'd love to know what you think. Is she a fifth columnist traitor, as some people said? Is she helping the Belarusian regime because this piece was used by the Belarusian regime, this little post? You know, an actress is supporting us, saying how beastly the Poles are. Or is she misunderstood in all of this and someone that we should sympathize with? I have to say that having watched the video, despite my initial reaction to what she'd written, in the end, I had a lot of sympathy for her. And if you've never been there in the public eye and had those kind of messages sent to you for something which you temporarily thought and then took back, be careful when and in what way you throw stones. We've had enough of that.